My name's Alan Hart and today I'm doing day in the life of a plumber. I'm going out to a boiler quote. So what I thought I'd do is just show you this job. It's an old boiler, apparently. It's an old 50 year old boiler and they're struggling to have hot water at the moment. So yeah, we'll go and have a look at that. And what I'd like you to do, if you could please put some comments below if you're a gas engineer or you plumber, and just tell me what you would quote on this job and what brand of boiler and why as well. That'd be really interesting. Yeah, let's go and have a look. One thing I'll say is about boiler quotes and prices, I'll add a little link there if you have a look at that video there. And that's another video that I did recently about boiler pricing and quotes and what I charge and why I charge it. So yeah, just bob over, have a look at that one as well. So yeah, let's go and have a look. So first of all, if we're going to do a boiler quote, then we need to know what the customer's got and also what the requirements are. And if we have a look here, we've got floor standing, ideal, Mexico 2. And this is an open vent boiler. So the system is an open system. And this will have tanks up in the loft. And we'll go and have a look at that shortly. And this is also balanced flue. So it doesn't have a fan inside this boiler. It's just balanced. And that should have a terminal guard on there. And then if we have a look outside, we can see that the tanks have been overflowing. So there's obviously an issue with this system. So that needs to be sorted out, which it will be when we install a new boiler into this. If we go upstairs now, we have a look in the airing cupboard. We can see that we've got a hot water cylinder in here. And then we've got the pipes that come down from the loft. That's your cold feed into the cylinder. It's a little bit awkward to show you on this, but I'll show you on a cutout of a video. This is your tanks. This is your tanks up in the loft. So the one on the left feeds the hot water cylinder. So that's your cold water storage tank. And then this one on the right, this feeds the central heating. If you have a look in here, you can see the colour of the water and you can see that the overflow there. So obviously that's been overflowing and that's what's running down the wall outside. And it's a bit awkward to see because obviously we're in a dark loft, but this one here, that's the cold water and that goes into the bottom of the cylinder. I have done a video on how does a hot water cylinder work, and that cuts all the cylinder up and it shows you how it all works. I'll add a link below for that. When we're going to adapt a system, a central heating system, or change a boiler, we need to take into consideration a number of things, and one is the shower. And will the shower be compatible with the boiler that you want to install? And in this particular case, the customer's going to remove this shower because they're having a new bathroom. So this is a really good time for them to change the boiler. But that's just something for you to check and make sure that the shower is going to be compatible with whatever you decide. So we've got an open vent boiler, floor standing, balanced flue. And what I'd like you to do now, if you could just put below so far what boiler you would choose, what type of system. Would you put a combi in? Would you rip all that cylinder out? Now bearing in mind the cylinder, there's issues with this system and it's probably got a blocked cold feed and expansion, and it's a really old 40-year-old system, so it's obviously got some issues with that. What we'll do now, we'll go and have a look at the water, have a look at the water pressure. The shower is actually tank fed, so at the moment the shower's not very good. So we'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at the mains pressure. We'll check that with flow cup, and then we'll also check and have a look at the gas supply as well. And as I say, please, if you can, add some comments below. It's really good to have some feedback, and yeah, it just helps anybody who's going to watch the video. So we're fairly lucky here. We've got an outside tap, so we can just check the water pressure or flow, water flow should I say, with the outside tap. So I've just got a flow cup here, and as you can see, I mean, we've got somewhere close to 22 litres or more per minute. It's really blasting out. So what would you fit onto this system? And then if we have a look here, this is the gas pipe, and it's not in the best place, to be honest, because it's right next to the door where it could be not, but it's 15 millimeter pipe, so that's going to need to be changed. We're going to have to update that to 22 mil pipe. We've also got a hot pipe here with a cap on. Another thing to take into account on this job is where would we put the condensate. There's no drain on this, and the soil on the outside is quite high up, so we've got to look at the options of putting a drain in. Now the customer said that the ground on the outside is going to be dug down, and we can put a soak away in there. So that's what I'm going to quote to do on this. It's not the best solution, but we can only work with what we've got. With regards to systems, what would you fit in this? It depends what the customer's requirements are. The customer, they might want to rent this property out, and in that case they might just want a really cheap option of Combi. Now I don't actually do really cheap options. I do the cheapest jobs I do are like a mid-range job, really, something like a main boiler, but that's still got the stainless steel heat exchanger and that lot. So that's one option. You could fit a cheap option. You could fit a more expensive option. So the main comes with a 5-year warranty. You could fit a more expensive option, and you could fit something like a Baxi 800 or a Baxi Platinum, and they come with a 10-year parts and labour warranty. And there's all different types of Combi boilers and lots of different brands. And I would say that the most important thing of all is actually the person that installs the boiler. I would always advise to get a local company that you've got recommendations that do good work. Maybe my advice is try to avoid these online companies, because a lot of the time they just use subcontractors, and in my opinion subcontractors don't always do as good a job. Maybe some people have had a really good job, but so that's the sort of middle option. Another option is we could put a storage Combi in this. So we could put something in like a Wiesmann, the Wiesmann 111. Worcester also do a storage style Combi. They do a high flow. Personally, I don't install Worcesters. I wouldn't install Worcesters, but the Wiesmann 111 is a really good choice. And then the other option, if you really wanted to blow the budget, you could go for an unvented cylinder. So if we have a look here, this is a job that we did, and that's installing an unvented cylinder with a Wiesmann boiler, and that's on a 4-pipe system. And that's just an amazing job, really, to be honest. And then the next thing you need to take into account is what sort of controls do you want. Does the customer want internet controls? So do they want something like a Nest thermostat where they can use it on the phone? Do they want weather comp on system, or do they just want to use open firm with boiler controls, or do they just want basic control as possible, but obviously it has to comply with the current regulations, which the Boiler Plus regulations. So there's all different options. So as I say, you can start with your cheaper options. They're not, we don't do the real cheap jobs. And then you can go to like your mid-range jobs, and then you can go all the way up to your high end, and this is when these type of jobs start to get very expensive. This is quite a long video, and there's so many different types of heating systems. It's always best to get somebody to come out and look at the system and give you some proper advice, really, on what's going to be suitable for you and your property. If you're still watching this video, I know it's gone on a little bit. Thank you very much. On this particular job, I've quoted for a Baxi Platinum with a Boiler Plus control, an EPH control, a Boiler Plus control. The boiler comes with a 10-year parts and labour warranty. I've also quoted to flush the system out, to adapt the system, take the cylinder out. The customer's going to remove the shower. As I say, the bathroom's getting done. Remove all the tanks from the loft, and to be honest, spend a lot of time flushing the system, updating the system. There's a lot of work to make this a good quality job. I could have just done an open vent boiler, just put a new open vent boiler in, but it just wouldn't have worked very well because, as I say, the system's not piped correctly. And the other quote, the other boiler I'm quoting is a Wiesmann 111. So if the customer wants amazing hot water, then the 111 would be really, really good for this. So I'm quoting for a Baxi Platinum, a 28 kilowatt Baxi Platinum, and I'm quoting a 26 kilowatt Wiesmann 111. And the 111 will give 18 litres a minute at a high temperature, and it would be amazing, but it is quite a lot more expensive for the boiler to start with. Also, with the Wiesmann boiler, I have to pay extra to make it into a 10-year parts and labour warranty. So again, that adds more cost onto the job as well. So yeah, I hope you found this video of some use. If you've got any questions, please ask them in the comments below. As I keep saying, it really does help with these videos. And the more these videos, the more views we get, then the more I can do the videos for you. But as I say, if you've got any questions, please ask them in comments below. And thank you so much. Thank you for watching.